everyone, welcome to my first Persona video and my final G-Fox Beginnings video. I've decided that it was a bit too much work for me and I don't think I need to put on that extra pressure. I should have just tried to do an anniversary instead, so this'll be my final G-Fox Beginnings video. Also, for those who don't know, G-Fox Beginnings is a tradition I've been doing on the channel since 2022. Sorry to anyone who's upset about it. However, I've got good news for you, and that is, today I will speak to you about my first impressions of this game. First, let's start off with the characters. For this part of the video, I'll be judging the characters based on their overall usefulness in battle, as well as their designs and personality. My current favourite character so far is Yusuke, also known as Fox, because of his charming personality and cool design. As soon as I got a taste of his elegance, I already began to like him. Although he doesn't stand out in terms of combat, he's still useful in a fight. Other cool characters include Joker, Irina, Morgana, also known as Mona, who are all pretty cool too, because of their usage in battle. Another character I like is Anne, also known as Panther. She has a charming personality and is somewhat useful in battle. However, there's also a cool villainess called Mary, who at first seemed decent, like very okay, due to the fact that she didn't have anything that really gave me much of an opinion on her at all. However, later on she impresses me with her chaotic nature during her boss fight, and she had a really cool defeat, although I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Another character who had a charming personality is Makoto, but I'm not sure how to describe her personality. What's your favourite character in this game? Don't forget to tell me in the comments down below. The gameplay is really good, it's very fun, and it has very interesting level design. Some of them include really interesting and fun concepts, like this one here, where you have to guide Irina through an area full of enemies so she can reach the target. There was also a lot of different moves you could give to characters. Some moves are actually really fun to use and are quite useful. These were referred to as the personas, but my favourite type of move has to be the sweep moves, which knock the enemies back, because it's both fun and useful to knock enemies around, so that way I can knock enemies into positions where they can be more easily defeated or taken out all at once. However, it's simply just fun to knock enemies around like this. Not that I promote assault is bad. This is a video game, so don't think of this as me promoting assault, I'm against it. Just so you know, can also do this using explosive barrels and by knocking enemies off ledges. There is also something called triple threats, which are great because they add complexity to the game, and is partly why sweep attacks are so useful, as it encourages you to round up enemies so they can all be damaged at once. Triple attacks are basically a way to cover a large area and damage any enemies that are in that area, using the 3 characters that are currently on the battlefield, if there are 3. So far I've fought 1 boss in this game, and she's good. I enjoyed launching her explosives back at her, and the part when she's defeated is also pretty cool as well. I just find what happens at the end entertaining. The normal enemies are pretty fine by themselves, they make all the battles enjoyable. This game also allows you to buy new weapons, as well as fuse personas, but I rarely ever do that. Not because they're bad, but simply because I don't necessarily need them. I prefer to use personas you can get on the skill tree, probably because it's easier to use. Something else that I like is how there's the option to replay stages as well as conversations between characters. Something else I'd like to mention is that I haven't encountered any glitches yet. I also think it's good that you can pick your difficulty. Now, the gameplay may be more important than the visuals, but the designs of the characters and stages and overall backgrounds and the overall look of a game still matters to me. The art style is fine, and I like some of the character designs, like Fox's design, which I think is cool because of the colours. Another character whose design I like is Queen's design, because of the spikes, colour and armour design. I'm also a fan of Ryuji's design as well, for the overall design of his skull costume, especially the mask. I'm also a fan of Futaba's Oracle costume as well, because of the colours as well as the detail added to it. Overall, the visuals are mostly fine, but some of the character designs are actually pretty cool and detailed. Now for the type of thing I look for when I think about video games, that being the story. Now, so far the story's been pretty decent. It's taken me to lots of different places like a jail room, several bases, and even inside a castle. And going to all these different places makes the story even more interesting, as it makes the story more complex. I'm not going to spoil too much though. Now, for our conclusion, I am going to summarise my overall opinion of this game. I personally think that it's a lot of fun, due to its complex but not overly complicated gameplay. It has some cool characters in it. I'm looking forward to continuing this game. I'd give Persona 5 Tactica a rating of 8 out of 10. So what do you think of this game? Tell me in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, and have a happy GFox beginnings.